Hello, folks, and welcome back to the speedrun slash walkthrough for Chris Sawyer's Locomotion. We've finished up all of the medium real world maps, and we're going to move on to some of the custom made maps. I'm going to start and basically do these in increasing chronological order. So we'll start with some of these 1900s start date ones, and we'll work our way forward. We'll finish with aerophobia. This is probably going to be deserving of its own video. It's just such a slog. 60% here. I mean, it's not terribly difficult, but just you actually need to get to like 80 or 90% to win with everybody competing with air traffic that you cannot make. So anyway, we'll get to that another time. Uh, Start things off right here. Alrighty, so race to read. This is a set map, and my color's going right. The objective here is to deliver paper, and you have to produce paper from lumber. So, paper mills. So, this looking building with a couple of smokestacks and the green ribbed siding is a paper mill. Requires lumber to produce paper. So, our task is to basically get lumber here, have the industry produce paper, and deliver this paper somewhere else. There's a lot of these sprinkled throughout the map, and as this is a Swiss Alps style landscape, we have a lot of mountains we got to deal with. We do have access to the rack rail and the narrow gauge style trains. I just don't really think it's worth it. I mean, they go insanely slow, they just don't carry enough cargo, and there's no real need. Like, we can work around a lot of the elevation changes here. Um, I'm going to start with this fairly easy one because I'm going to try to supply chain this as best as possible. Set up a. Oh, before that goes, I might as well reduce my loan here, not pay any interest. I am basically going to try to set up a nice, like, multi station network here, or multi track station, and use this as best as I can for getting lots of trains at that particular paper mill. So I'm going to basically deliver from a lot of different forests to there, and we'll see how it goes. So this forest, I happen to know, is in a decent spot. The elevation's not great. We could also go to this paper mill. It's a little closer. We're getting our game started here. However, I will be beginning from right around this spot. We are going to have quite a bit of challenge with the elevation, so it's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, anyway, let's get things rolling. I think what we might want to do is even just lower these a bit. It will be worth it in the long run. We're going to start out obviously with just one track. And I know, as I just made that point before, I lost just lost money for loan interest for no good reason. So not the greatest. All right. This is kind of the rightmost that we could go. I don't know if I can. Oh, I can sneak through there. Very nice. We're just gonna basically come right down here. And again, we are starting in 1900. The SLM 3x3 is extremely weak. We're definitely going to need two locomotives, and it's going to barely scratch the surface for what we really need. I don't actually know the best way to go through this sort of like forest passage here. We're going to probably have to improvise a bit. I don't see anything higher than 128 at the moment. As long as we steer clear of this hill, we should be okay. Oh, that was a silly one. Probably will end up being more expensive than we'll like, but And I am going to go basically right up to here. I know I'm going to end up needing these in the near future, so I'm just not even going to waste any time. I want to probably end up here just for the moment. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this gives us a little bit of flexibility. That one is unfortunate. Didn't see that coming. Would have liked to avoid that, but here we are. Where we will need to thin this out, or thicken it out, I should say, once we start getting to 2 tracks situation. I was 1 track off. Whoopsies. Could have a lot of lumber here already. I think we should be able to handle 8 with 2 of these. If not, we're going to find out. Obviously, I forgot to put down a station here. We need to grab this guy. Get rid of the waypoint. I'm confident that we've... yeah, it's not the greatest situation here. It's almost not even worth like waiting too long here. Yeah, the 41 mile an hour sharp curve with an incline is not ideal, but we're not going to be working with a whole lot else. All right, so we will only need 7 station blocks. I will try to keep all trains to 8 or fewer cargo cars. So that was 160 tons. That was yeah, see, let's take a look at this. I mean, it's already slowing down. It's not even loaded up, so it's fortunate that we're carrying the heavy stuff down from the mountains. Not gonna be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, anyway, I will keep the station blocks to the size and hopefully be able to do something fairly decent here. We should not waste any time. We are going to need the second line, so no time like the present. Now, in this situation, these trains do move so slow that it will always be worth having yeah, see, we played a little bit close for comfort before, but no matter. We can bail ourselves out. Oh my goodness. All right, this is just another teachable moment. When you are building the diagonally moving pieces, it's very tricky to get the land right, because you do have to get kind of all the blocks around. So even though these are the 2 blocks that are highlighted, you really have to get the ones on the side as well. It does kind of suck, but it's life. don't even really need to be using these wide bend turns on account of no train is ever going to be going 50 miles an hour for the duration of this level. I'm hoping it doesn't cost too much more than that for this project, or this that addition, I should say, because we just do not have a ton of extra cash. Our loan only goes up to 30 grand for quite a while. And see right here, we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot. This is not going to be a pretty one. What I might even opt to do. This is going to be extremely expensive, but don't try this at home. Crossing over your lines is only going to lead you to more pain. However, I happen to know that I want to really change where the inlet and outlet are for these lines, so I'm actually going to diverge them all the way. Oops. Make use of the rest of the space here. I'm not going to even bother with the I want to have I'm not going to bother with changing the land here. I could, but not worth it at this point in time. Now, I would like to have a much larger block at the end. That's just not going to be in the cards for right now, so I'm actually just going to wrap this up kind of quickly. We want to be able to get an additional train on here soon. I'm going to just only have as much money as I need. We totally do not need multiple trains or anything going just yet. Or not multiple trains, but multiple station platforms. Here's one thing I like to do. I always like to make sure that I leave a couple of blocks in between any signal I put down and any incline, especially a large incline like this. It's always going to be slower for the train to have to accelerate up this hill from a standstill than if it has momentum. So I never want the train to be stopped. I don't want the train to be stopped where it can be subject to that. Now I've been doing a bad job. I do need to set up these as well. I'll give an extra block just in case I do end up extending for whatever reason. And that should be good with the signals on that end. So that is wrong. Downhill, totally not an issue. And see, I've already screwed myself up. So I was actually right before. That is a damn shame. All right, well, we'll pretend we didn't see that. I won't tell if you won't tell. As I was saying before, yeah, downhill does not matter in the slightest. And in fact, I don't even care. The trains could potentially be waiting a long time to get back to the station there. They're going to be, like, fairly long enough. Right. And yeah, again, downhill doesn't matter because, as you may guess, we do have gravity helping us out quite a bit. All right, it's time to max out our loan and get another one of these trains here. And unfortunately, we don't really get a whole lot of income with this. We also don't get a whole lot of... I should make these station blocks 8, and it's just going to make things easier with the establishment of blocks later on. What I mean by that is the trains that I'm building are already going to occupy 8 blocks, so even though I don't need a station to account for the locomotive, it's still nice to have a good measurement that, like, when the entire train's in the block, I am not blocking other trains from coming through. So again, these are going to run extremely slowly. I'm not even going to bother with the other stations at this point. However, I will start getting my my trains going to the paper mill, because that's going to be extremely important. Now I would like to leave a little bit of room here just for whoops. Yeah, sorry, for multiple tracks, just because maybe I'm going to have multiple paper mills going. Who knows? This level is achievable without really doing that. You know what? I think I do need to cut through there. That's going to be way too long otherwise. I'll have this line actually connect here, and then I'll have the input coming in around the paper mill, just like that. Oh, shoot. Did he really just take that from me? Ah, that's so unfortunate. Where is he building a road? You know, I never saw that that paper mill there. We will be putting him out of business extremely quickly. I will show a very quick trick with that. Yeah, this is totally no worries. He'll be out of there before we know it. Now, the good thing when you're competing with companies that are building roads instead of rails is that you can kind of build your rails anywhere you want. Well, except where there's a damn intersection. So that's actually going to be the only tricky part here. This should all go away very quickly. So remember we talked about having multiple different trains joining up in the same section of track. That's exactly what we're going to be doing here, and we have a lot better justification to do that now, because we don't have trains that are ever going to be really going that fast where they need anything else. And this isn't great. We are going to have to extend this. I'm just going to bite the bullet and do that now, because it's going to really suck later. Now, is this extremely long? Yes, it is. It's going to pay off massively in the near future. Isn't it a pity? So we'll show the hack with that in just a moment. Not really a hack. It's an extremely valid strategy. There's a level in this game called Rails versus Roads, and I learned this hack just casually playing that level. It's kind of devastating when you get down to it. Anyway, All right, I need to just finish this up. Once we have, so just as an important lesson, whenever you have trains that are going to be, see, those are going to overlap. So as we talked about before, this block here is going to be shared between this section of track and the wider radius turn. So we're going to avoid that altogether. And we'll just do something like this for now. Have this be our one intersection. Now we do need to provide access to these, so I'm going to start actually, I want this to branch out as early as possible. There we are. So once again, we have our entry block, and then I'm going to just move these back slightly. Now, I'll leave them as is for now. It's going to be an optimization thing. We just don't have enough trains. All right, so I want you to pay attention. This is the teachable moment. So we have a train approaching. Now, this train has been all the way back here, at which time these trucks just decided they're not going to go. They're not going to cross through. Now they're able to cross the road. This devastates any kind of road travel because trains always have the right of way. As such, it is worth knowing this because, all right, we're still doing okay here. That's about where I want to see it. I think the two trains are working out well for now. So once again, this train is now stopping these trucks twice. I mean, they're probably lost money already. Maybe not quite. They're always going to get stuck behind this train. This company's going to lose a ton of money, and you might have guessed it. The easiest way to just defeat this strategy is just grab whatever the cheapest one is. I think it's probably going to be one of these cargo wagons, and just plop it on the tracks here. You don't even need the train to be running. As long as it's on the tracks, these trucks will never be able to pass, and you're going to be run out of business. Be aware of this if you're ever playing this game competitively. I don't even know if a competitive mode exists, but I hope it does, because that would be kind of cool. Anyway, back to our jams over here. We're going to need to turn this into a much larger station situation at some point, but right now, it's not necessary. What will be necessary is that if we do want to make use of our stations here, in fact, one thing we could do, so long as this road is in the way, is just kind of shift everything forward. That might actually help a little bit. I think for right now, I might even just opt to have it going to its own tracks. Again, this isn't going to be the fastest, but it's going to be something. And we're back here. That's just going to be incredibly easier. We're out of money. Fortunately, we've been making a decent amount of money. I should come up with or not come up with, but use the correct terminology here for these stations. So what we've done here, I need to definitely extend this. Right. So what we've built here, this is called a terminus station, and as the name suggests, it's because the line terminates right after it. So you basically come into the station, the line terminates, and the train has to turn around. What we've built here is called a roll on, roll off, or better known as a row station. And the advantage to a row station is just that trains roll on, they roll off, and then they continue about their day. They don't have to turn around and occupy the same signal blocks that other trains who are trying to enter the station might want to make use of. So while we're waiting here, I am gonna, or waiting to clean up the line, I am going to add our paper train. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just wanted to basically start filling up on paper so that the station knows we're interested. I don't think there's nearly enough right now. Now you might be saying, well, there's absolutely no way that this train can get back to where it needs to go. I'm also going to give it this waypoint here just so it knows not to go on this part of the line. Right, so how do we solve this? Well, obviously the outgoing track from the line going into the printing press, what is it called? Printing Works is the name of the industry. It's coming into this track here. We'd like this to hit some of our other tracks, which we will set up in a moment, but this train for now is just going to hit this line. And that's okay. We don't have a ton of stuff going on. And it is truly simple. I mean, we're basically just going to connect it back into this junction here. We should block it off a little bit. Whoops. Because we don't want other trains to get confused. All right, so that should be fairly blocked off. I'm basically gonna move the station for now because I've already kind of committed to having it start here. So this will be our new station start point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can adjust all our stations accordingly. This train has 57 tons. I'm just going to send it for now. Mostly because I just want it to be getting out of here. I don't want it to be clogging up too much else. See, as promised, the trucks are just kind of clueless. This station has a horrible rating for paper. Meanwhile, our rating is skyrocketing. The paper that is here is basically falling off of the platform. It's like expiring. And the paper that's going to be here is going pretty much exclusively to us. Yeah, there's a little bit more that went to the blue guy station, but, and actually, is it a guy? I don't even know. Let's, who is blue? Nevermore Freight. Blue is indeed a guy, it looks like. Actually, I don't know these characters too well. Might be a gal. I can't select the character incidentally because it's already been taken, so I'm not entirely sure. I totally forgot I put 2 trains on the same part there, so I'm just gonna move the locomotive back and might as well take advantage of picking the train up to move it back here. All right, so let's adjust these stations, make them a little bit prettier. And then when we actually start making some real money, we will start throwing some additional trains on here from other paper mills. So now I know I talked about having all of these trains branch off at the same point. We're doing a little bit of a variation on this. I'm actually going to extend this track out over to here and basically have opportunities for trains to leave on either platform and essentially cross over to wherever they need to go. I would like these trains to be able to get onto the other tracks if possible. So that's why I would have the intersection here. We're cleaning up the block. So these you could think of as like they're both entry signals, but they also separate this intersection from this intersection. It's not a huge deal, but it basically just, we have signals here because if a train is going to our printing works, it will be getting out of this junction faster, allowing our lumber trains to get back on their merry way faster as well. So now that we've got that squared away, and that's a beautiful sight, we have our paper train running. We're in for a slog here. We've delivered very little paper. We've delivered 57 tons so far, so we really need to get this paper mill really pumping a lot more paper out. So you notice these lines are not really set up so well, so we don't have the greatest efficiency here. So we're going to work on that. I'm going to stop talking for a minute and actually focus on this, and then we'll explain what has happened when the time's right. I'm just preparing this line. He's going to tear this road down at some point. But right now, this track isn't really bothering anyone. So we've actually done great with our loan here, and I think this is probably my laziness. We really, so I am, all right, getting ahead of myself. All right, let's go one thing at a time. I'm actually going to get another train running, and this is just going to be a little tiny train that's going to just basically be here to make sure that any extra paper that gets produced from the paper mill is not going to it's not going to be going to waste, and it's not going to be letting our numbers go down. Right, so what we've basically seen here is so I can't delete it. That would have been too funny. This company's out of business, basically. They're at the very bottom. I don't even know what the company's up to. It looks like they're trying to get some logging going somewhere else on the map, far away from this area. But their road is basically done. They're not going to be competing with us. They might even opt to get rid of this, which would be terrific because we could really use the additional room to access these stations. We unfortunately cannot do any other kind of junctions here. So now, once again, because this train is loading at the station, this satisfaction rating has just been going up. And it's going to eventually go down, but we have our other train here to make up for it. We honestly could make these trains a little bit smaller and still be doing fine, but don't need to be doing that. I heard some building going on, actually. Ah, it's this. Never mind. That's why we don't keep these things open. So we need a little bit more money, and the only real good way to do that is, well, this green fella actually took it from us, is to build a little bit of passenger transport. We could transport other goods. I don't find it's as lucrative at this stage in the game. We don't have a time limit here, so like we could just kind of do it as long as we want to. We're also at a point we don't really have a ton of great things to transport with. This livestock is just looking so tempting. It wouldn't be too terrible, and I think this will end up making us some decent coin. But actually, we have a lot of money here. We could probably just reinvest in ourselves and plop this into another lumber transit situation. There is a forest right up here that's producing a decent amount. The one we're at is doing awesome. We could even potentially explore another train. Well, actually, this one's coming up, so maybe not. I think we'll start here. We're getting close to the point where money is not a huge deal, but it is still tricky to build a lot of this stuff. So, let's see, I just want to barely get it. Okay, there we are. Of course. Oh man, did I pick a bad spot here? Oh, we're gonna build a tunnel. Of course I missed. And we should be able to pop out there. Very nice. So this is going to be a P and the A for our trains to get back up, but fortunately, again, we're going down to our track area. I think I'm going to have these lines merge up somewhere around here. It's going to be, well, this is interesting. I want this to get up very quickly. We're at 160 feet already, and where's our track from before? This track's at 272, so we've got a long way to go elevation-wise, but I think this is where we'll want to eventually meet up. All right, that's fairly reasonable so far. I think we could kind of just go straight across, and we'll be all right. And look at that, we're already at 160. It's terrific. Probably just cut across here then. Yeah, money is not a huge problem for us. I think that's 8. 1, 2, 3. 7, 8. Perfect. Now we do need a way for trains to get back, so ironically what we're going to have to do is basically branch off again. So we don't even need that. We could just kind of go like this. Of course, our best friends from this road got us, but hey, remember that piece of track we laid before? Well, it's going to come in handy. One more to do it. All right, now this should work. Why did I do this? Well, this is actually not great, but it is something we need for the moment. We are going to have to repeat this to have a two-way track situation. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of waiting for trains to go back up there. I want to make sure this train isn't going to go the wrong way. It does not. That is super duper. Yeah, it's. I just wanted to be able to have a train running without, basically without needing to, like totally stop production from that station. So while that's going, we're gonna take advantage. Oops. See, we're just not going to be going up quite fast enough. I want this to be the downward line because obviously, gravity is going to help out immensely with that. Like, where is our train? Is it heading back? Ah, well, we had a train on the tracks here. That makes a lot of sense. So this train, we're actually going to have to keep an eye on. This could probably get beefed up. We're getting a lot of paper coming in with that last delivery. I mean, taking a look at this, it can definitely handle that kind of incline. I might just be overreacting, but like, it's not going to be great. I'm going to try to make it avoid that as much as possible. Get rid of this. I have way too many of these viewports open, so we're going to slim it down a little bit. And this is where it's going to get a little tricky. So if you're ever in a pinch, you can do this. And you buy yourself a little bit of time. We got to get up to 368, so I think we might need one more of these. We actually did not need that last incline there because we are level with the other platform. We can kind of just go right across, and there we are. Not bad at all. All right. My rule with tunneling is if it's If you need to move the... Of course, train 2 would be here. Because why not? It's fun, right? That just means trains 1 and 2 are also going to need a waypoint after they stop here. Must route through. This waypoint should be convincing enough. Anyway, back to the point with the tunnels. Basically, if you have to lower the land by 1, you lower by 1 and you stay above ground. If you have to raise the land by 1, you raise it by 1 and you go below ground. It's basically just identifying what is the path of least resistance, or the cheapest way, really, that you could build the tunnels. All right, that was a lot harder than it needed to be there. This looks like train 1. Brilliant. Once again, not where you need to be. You also get the waypoints. Good enough. Now, very important, we don't want our trains, we don't want to basically waste what we've done. We don't want our trains climbing this steep incline if they can help it, so that's obviously going to be our down line. Our up line literally is going to be there. And once again, I'm trying to make good use of only putting signals where I know the train is not going to, will likely have enough momentum. This one I actually probably don't even want there. Yeah, none of these are going to be too spectacular, unfortunately. Now that we have our downline in place, we don't even need this anymore. I might even take this opportunity to, see, he did delete these roads. Excellent. What a kind person that is right there. We love to see that. It appears that train was heading the wrong way. That's totally my bad. It will be time to clone this train pretty soon, which I might as well just do now. Ah, he did not have a drop-off instruction. That's just very unfortunate. This is going to have to change anyway, because we've now moved it over to here. Perfect timing for this one. Now these trains, I neglected to mention before, they are going to actually take up entirely their own tracks, and the reason for that is they're just going to be taking up space at these stations while they're waiting for lumber to come in and get turned into paper. There's truly no reason for us to maintain the having them as part of the rest of the network. It's just going to slow things down. Get rid of these signals. We actually don't need them because it's creating an additional block here. That's going to allow some holdups. I did not prepare this part of the line that well. I'm going to actually go ahead and optimize that right now. Move that signal up here. It's not like we need to do that, but I guess it helps a little. So this is intentional. This is kind of what I want. I am actually going to fan this out a little bit more. Create another line right here. I actually don't even, I don't need, I just need a one-way signal here and there. And basically this whole junction is going to be sort of fair game here. Just going to remove some of these to make sure that we're doing it correctly. So it's not the prettiest, but it should get the job done. And now we can actually restore the signals here. So now we have essentially 2 tracks entering the block and 4 tracks exiting. This is to get to the stations. These trains can go basically wherever they need to. So yeah, this should end up being pretty efficient. Now, what I'd love to see, which is not super achievable with the signal logic in this game, is I'd love to have basically a train go. Let's call these tracks 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll say 5 and 6 are just for the trains transporting paper. But I'd love to see tracks 1, or the order of trains go to tracks 1, 3, 2, 4. And the reason is it gives just a little bit more room because I basically made 1 and 2 join up here. I've made 3 and 4 join up here. Not the worst thing in the world, but it would make things a little bit nicer. All right, this is the right train that should be there. There's also the right train that should be there. Decent amount of lumber left. We have a good satisfaction rating. I'm not going to add any more trains there. What we do need, though, is another train carrying paper, so might as well do that. Copy the routes, including the waypoints. We're pretty much cruising right now. The name of the game at this point is keep bringing paper to this station right here, or keep bringing lumber to this station. These trains will take care of the rest of it. Now that we have 3 trains, we may look into something like turning this into a row station instead of a terminus station. We'll have to keep looking into that as things go along. I'm not sure if the traffic is going to merit that. I've definitely done it before, but I just don't know if it's worth it. Decent amount there. That guy's got a decent bit as well. I think we'll probably go to this one. Now this forest, we could probably just branch off of the line we have going to, is that Wildestadst? I do not know Swiss all that well, so apologies there. Yeah, we could probably, I mean, we have enough money. We could probably just do that all, like, fully underground as well. All right, let's make it happen. Now we will need to bring this up eventually, but I just think we should start here. And now that we're decently underground, we can make tracks toward where we need to be. So this is kind of a cheesy way, but if you have plenty of money, there is no reason you can't. I think this is where we want to be. Fungstat, okay, nice. Now I'm a little concerned about the height, so I am going to bring this up a little bit. Oops, didn't mean to do that with the macro. This is all at 400 feet, and the sawmill is at 432, so I think we should be fine. The stations have a pretty good catchment area when it comes to going above, like above the land, or catching stuff that is above or below it. So let's see if we've actually hit it. We actually overshot it, is what happened. There we are. So that's our track going in. Now we need a track going out. And it's going to be a similar thing here. Yeah, I guess we didn't need to go that low, ever. I do want to get it. Ooh, we actually have gone through a lot of cash here. Ugh, I did not expect that. Yeah, tunneling is very expensive, and we're not exactly making a ton of money. Are our vehicle struggling here? I don't think so. Yeah, we're just really moving through money. Not great. You know, didn't even check. It's 160, so we're actually good there. I hope this doesn't break the bank here. That'll be tragic if so. All right. So we made it out. It definitely cost a lot of money. Money that we had and then had to borrow. Just gonna get the signals now because it's extremely annoying to do signals underground. I'd just rather get it done once and call it a day. And actually, you know, I'm doing this. I got to make sure that I've actually set up the tracks properly. So this is going to be our outline, and I think that is correct, actually. All right, that is all looking good. Now we will probably need like 3 trains on here, so I'm gonna again be fairly diligent with the signals. This is a very long route, and again the trains are very slow. Hopefully I haven't screwed up any of the signals. That would be even more tragic. Okay, that looks right. Yeah, what do you know about that? Looks like got it. Got it just fine. All right, and now it's time for some trains. Now this should merge up just fine, but it's going to need a instruction to stop there and then route through this waypoint. And I'm going to do one more for good measure. But we don't even need 3. It's kind of impossible to get to the other one. Well, you know what? It might not because the tracks go there. I'm going to leave it. Well, 4 is definitely not necessary if we're already taking that side of the switch. I'll call it right there. I don't think we're going to be updating this too much at all. Grab another. And I think we'll be good there for now. We can't even have another train at the station, so it's not going to do too much good for us. It's going to take these just a little bit of time to load all the way up, but we can check on our other train. I don't even know where it was. It's right here, coming around the bend. The routing should have worked out, and it does. Brilliant. How are we doing on our goal? 40% there. Now that we have this much, we may need to start looking into more paper trains. We don't really quite have the volume just yet. However, I am like really considering turning this into a row station just for a little more efficiency. We have a lot of lumber coming in here. Like we should start to see 480 tons of paper a month. I mean, that means, let's see, quick maths. If we started from this, yeah, it's going to drop here and there. But if we average, oh, this month 500. So if we averaged 400 tons of lumber a month, and we got all of that paper transported, which, that's its own story, it would only take us, let's see, 25 months, so like 2 years. So it really wouldn't be terrible. And here's the kicker. We're starting to see a buildup of paper. We're transporting more and more of it, which is great. Or we're seeing the industry transport more and more of it. But that means we just need more trains on this line. So it is time to convert this terminus station to a row station. I'm going to try to do it to the best of my ability, but that's quite unfortunate because this guy just decided to take this spot. That's very unfortunate. The city has also built up tremendously around us, so we got to think about this a little bit. I'm tempted to just elevate the tracks and kind of do it that cheesy way, because yeah, like this is just not going to be great for anybody. So yeah, let's see what we can do here. This is our outbound line. I'd like to keep the same station, so like literally building just right above it. I don't think at this height we're going to be doing too much damage anywhere else, but you never know. A little too far. Well, that's a rip. That's another rip. Ouchie. And we can't even build there on account of the stuff. But we can go out here, which is nice. That's our outbound line, so that means trains are going to basically come around here, do their business, and then escape. So I'm actually going to make the escape part a little bit larger. That'll work. All right, it's the same station up there. We love to see it. And basically what we'll do is just have this branch off here. Yeah, this could have all been like done a little bit better. Brilliant. So now we need to have basically multiple lines there. Now this is a unsegmented part of track, so I am just gonna block it off with signals so our trains don't get stuck anywhere else. We will be deleting all of these stations in a moment. Unbelievable with these shops. Thought you were able to just knock this stuff down. I guess, all right, well, this kind of blows. I think this should work. It's not going to be great, but it will be more efficient than what we were working with before. All right, so we'll have our entry signals. And it really doesn't matter where this signal goes because the other part of that line is going to go away. All right. I don't see any trains there that are going to be in need of coming into the station, so this train should now come to our new stations. Excellent. Yeah, it just is so disappointing to see how little power these trains have. And now that there's no other trains at that station, we can basically clean it all up. We're doing much better on our objective, and in fact, I'm gonna just grab the next couple trains and we'll call it a day. Oh, we did not need 2 locomotives. There's not a ton of paper right now, but I mean, it's a matter of time. So we'll see the efficiency here. Pops into one station, great. Other train can use that station. No one's ever getting held up. Now this is actually going to make matters a little complicated because he's taken a little bit of our product, but we're going to be done very quickly. I could just even leave this on fast forward and it's not going to take too long. It's going to take more time to set up another line or something like that. This train here might even just do it. In fact, it will. There we are. All right. Not too bad. 6 years. Suppose it could have been faster. All right. So we do have U Island. I will maybe save that for another video. We'll move on to Mountain Mayhem. Starts in the 1930s. Shouldn't take too long. This is another predefined map. I actually don't know it terribly well. We do need to just get a company value of 800,000 pounds. So that would be like $1.6 million based on the way the currencies are set up in this game. We are in Great Britain. We have access to the really nice electrical multiple unit. I don't know the actual model of this train, but carries a ton of passengers and mail, and all you need is the electric third rail. So this is going to be our go-to for passenger trains. I'm going to do that very quickly off the bat here. Bankwood looks like another good station there, so want to get as much catchment area as we can, as per usual. That should cover all of it, so we can go back on the ground. And let's hook this up. And we'll get a little bit extra to allow the town to grow. And of course, I forgot to electrify this track, so I'll do that now. We should be totally fine with just one. I don't expect there to ever be a time when there's more than 100 passengers ever needed. The nice thing about this Charberry station and how developed it is that it does accept food. Bankwood doesn't even accept food right now, so it's not ideal. We could start to supply chain something if there is a food processing plant right there. We could do livestock and grain. We could there's a grain farm right there, another grain farm there. Ooh, a lot of coal here actually. I think I'd rather do the supply chain, build this area up a little bit. How much money are we getting from this a month? $588. I guess that's like a decent amount to make $1,500 profit a month. It is going to have to pay for itself, though. I mean, we spent $19,000, 90,000 pounds. We've made 1,000 back, so it's going to take 18 months for this train to basically repay its cost. So let's take a look at these farms. 252. That could be workable. And remember, grain is typically pretty pretty good here as far as a just existing good. Livestock is obviously worth more, but I think this grain makes more sense, at least to start out. That livestock is a little bit of a long haul there. The farm goes basically right through here. I hope I didn't miss. I totally missed. But I won't once we get a little bit farther. Just can't catch a break here, can we? And we are building with electrified track. I don't think we really need this. We're going to be sticking with the steam locomotives for this one. Now, the station setup here is going to be interesting. We will want this to be row at some point. I don't think we can do it at the moment and really justify that cost. Sorry to that city, but gotta do what we gotta do. Alright. It shouldn't be too difficult. Why? That one's good. We'll work out the correct sizing of everything in a moment. I think we can carry 9 safely with the amount of power we have here, and 1900 horsepower. Maybe even 10, why not? Well, the why not is very obvious. It's that we don't have the room. These are going to be extremely long trains. Got up to speed just fine. Maybe 10 is a little ambitious. We could do the next with 9. We will need a second track. Get started on that in just a moment. How much loan do we get? Oh, we've got plenty of money. Plenty accessible to us. We won't need quite a big loan just yet. So like the 1920s, 1930s are actually one of my favorite time periods to start a new game, just because there's not a ton of stuff going on. You can kind of build up your transportation company. Stuff isn't wildly expensive yet, and it just gives you a good opportunity to build up slowly. You don't have to worry about the loan interest too much. All right, so no, I said I was complaining about money before, but we're gonna have to think a little bit here. Don't tell me. Of course. Made it the wrong heights. That's just unfortunate. I don't want it there. I want it one more out. It is July. It's curious why. Good friends over here are trying to steal some of our business. It's not ideal. I'm gonna. Well, I won't send him on his way just yet. We will reduce this down to 9 though, because there will be a period of time where it's just not going to be that efficient. We are in England, so we will try to do more authentic. Trains passing on the left. Obviously, in that last stage, we had a lot of hodgepodge of the line, so it wasn't very consistent. I am actually going to modify this slightly because I'd like the stations to be the same level. Of course, out of money. We'll probably have to like bulldoze this and then move these around later. And we're a little cramped for space there, but we can employ a little trick. And there's our intersection. So we'll toss one of these, allow him to make his pickup, and we'll get our second train ready. And now, hate to do this, but the dog-eat-dog world out there. We'll send this train on its way. We are betting a lot on this grain transport to work out. Before I get involved in the food, I was definitely getting ahead of myself there. Might want to just go ahead and he's already trying to steal more business. Oh, that's just such a shame. Company is already worth £85,000, so yeah, about 10% of the way done. This is definitely going to be slow going for us until this the situation gets sorted. I would like to set up our stations here before the space is at least totally gone. So we might as well convert this to a row right away. Well, that's the tricky thing is we really can't. We don't exactly have the money. So I'm gonna just improvise a bit here. This is going to suck. We don't have the money here. All right, so we'll just pause. I'm gonna just end up building new stations, but I'm just trying to take away some of the business, but I will definitely handle that. Yeah, I believe there's a lot of train companies that start up here. I'm not going to interrupt their this route just yet. I'll let them think that it's working out. But really, we're playing the long game here. We're just waiting for when we can get enough money to finish this project. So this has all been a waste. Basically, we'll just try to connect these two lines here. So it may help to actually just label these lines. So this line is going to be coming back, and this line is going to be going forward. So this line going back actually won't want to go down. It'll want to come out here. Off by a bit. Yeah, no way I will be able to do this on account of the signal there. Okay. We should have enough money to at least get one train going. Now the sucky thing about this is we can't build any larger stations here. So we're going to have to rough it with just what we've got. That greasily just takes up so much room. Of course, we needed to set up waypoints, and we did not. So after it starts there, we'll want it to route through here. And should be good. And with this train, we could bite the bullet on this. Ah, we forgot our crossover. Got another idiot. Ah, this is the wrong waypoint. Need it to be here. Yeah, we can already start to see the ill effects of the row station just causing a lot of backups here. So we were going to really want to streamline this at some point. Train 7. How many trains do I have? Jeez. Well, that is just extremely unfortunate. Since I already have that covered hopper wagon taken out, I'm just going to add a little bit of insult to injury. Oh, this is... it's not that one. I see. And that'll block things up over there. So we've at least got our lines working now. Unfortunately, this is really not going to be enough for us to get everything we need. Interestingly, this guy has once again found a way to get in the way of us. These AIs are extremely aggressive, it seems. I might go ahead and actually do this then. Do we have boxcars yet? We do not. Goods wagons, 12 tons of goods. It's not going to be great, but we're going to make do. I think we can start taking food from here. Exactly, are we going? I only anticipate having 2 trains on this line, so I'm not gonna... Ah, of course. I'm not gonna go too crazy with like making a row or terminus station or anything like that. But I probably will add a little bit more on this side. How far can we go, actually? Hey, you know what? This is actually working out. These little tiny hills always get me. Missed once again. Yeah, this is a bit of a sloppy one for me. That was just not necessary. Well, while we have a precedent here, might as well. Well, this is going to be the down line. It's not going to really matter. I'm not anticipating a ton of issues there. Well, our poor train has gone the American way. We're going to try to stay true to the setting here. We will almost certainly never get more than 2 trains on this. As I said before, I actually want to have the signal here because it is going up quite a bit. We're going to clone this train. A lot of food coming in. We'd like to see that. Going to make our company a lot more valuable. Oh my, did this station not accept food anymore? Oh, geez. Haha, that's just really horrible. I thought the station accepted food. You know what? It's because he demolished some stuff there. So that's really unfortunate. However, we can improvise. There we are. I'll get a little bit more catchment area. There we go. All right. Well, that was almost a crisis. I'm going to bring this guy back because I'm sure that the other one is... I didn't really need to do that now, did I? Now we're talking. See, our electric multiple unit is now able to deliver mail here. So we're getting there. About halfway done with this challenge. Yeah, the objective's just a lot easier than the other one. These 2 trains will be doing just fine there. See, I did not notice that. Our 2 trains here are actually paying the price a little bit for being for that other company stealing our business. But we have fairly small trains, not making, you know, tons of money, but it's $1,000 a month. Can't argue with that. Now it's time for just another trick. Make it a little bigger. There we are. That'll teach you to steal our grain. All right, we've got a lot of cash now. We could take out a much bigger loan. I'd definitely like to get... we're probably not even going to have time to get the Roro station fully evolved here. I mean, we're already at 77%. This should probably be our last train line. We will go with the livestock. It's going to be a lot more lucrative for us. I think we'll be done with this pretty quick, so I am going to plop this down. So I think I actually am not totally sure about this. You know, there was a closer one. We could have done that. Oh well. I'm actually not entirely sure, but I think I remember seeing that if you basically build over the area that like a farm or a livestock uh, cattle ranch or whatever is using, then it lowers the production until it has a chance to rebuild. Do not know if that's actually true, but don't exactly want to find out either. All right, we'll make sure there is some station blocks up there. We will almost certainly forget that, but I'm expecting some pretty long trains actually. Well, we're not even using that livestock ranch, so don't care too much. Oh, this is nice and wonky. Getting there. Okay. Let's get things going. Stainer Jubilee has slightly less horsepower. It's a little cheaper. I'm assuming it has better reliability. Let's actually see. You know, that was silly. So the Grizzly is 83%. Stainer Jubilee, oh, 63%. Yeah, it's not gonna work out for me. Should be able to handle 12 livestock cars. Yeah, it's no problem. Can only get up to 50 anyway, I think, yeah. We're gonna just sneak around there. So what happened is, again, this wide radius curve was partly on this little hill here. I did not lower it. I tried to go around it. And it turns out you needed a bridge anyway. Why I didn't just go up here, I don't know. Not see that coming. Just trace it from here, make sure that we aren't missing anything. While we have some blocks, I am gonna go ahead and, oops, clone this train. I think that should do it. And we'll do one more with just a couple. We're getting pretty close to the end here. I don't know how we actually went down. You know, it's probably from all the construction. After we get a couple deliveries, I think the game will be over. We'll add a couple more to this. Oh, looks like we don't have to. 3 years, 7 months, not too bad. Didn't really have too many issues here. We had a couple of this train. Yeah, this was one of our other trains. You know, I didn't. I didn't even notice this other food processing plant. I didn't notice that our business was being stolen. So that kind of sucks. Beyond that, I mean, we did pretty well with all these other vehicles here. Don't think we made any buses. This was all trains. That'll do it for this one. We are most of the way done with all of the medium challenges here. We'll catch you all next time, probably for some combination of U Island, Vapid Volcano, Bash, and Vineyards. Then we'll close off the mediums with Aerophobia. So that'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching, y'all. Catch you next time.